What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Taurean Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and have your bell clicked and turn your notifications to all so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. And be sure to also like, comment, and share this content on your various social media platforms. So today we will be talking about Myron Gaines, one half of quote unquote Fresh and Fit, or as I like to call him, Fraud and Finesse. And this is my first time actually doing a video about this guy. And that just shows you how little I think of him and his co-host in that podcast that they have, because there were several other instances that I could have talked about him, especially him in particular, because he seems to be like the loudest one out of the group, well, out of the duo, I should say, considering the almost legal troubles they were in a couple months ago. If y'all remember, they had got into it with Abba and Preach on YouTube. Because I think one of them had said something about Preach's wife, and it was a whole big thing at the time. And there was some other things that came out about them, and they ended up losing a lot of subscribers behind that. I don't know if they gained them all back or whatever the case may be, but that's neither here nor there, and that's not why I'm here to talk about this. But the reason why I'm talking about Myron today is because there was this clip that came out. I don't know how recent it is. It looks fairly recent, and I'm recording this video on June 6, 2022, by the way, where I guess people called into the show, because I'm looking at the screenshot of the audio where it says haters call into the show and they give the numbers for the people to call in, and I guess someone called in and aired out their grievance, and he went off about it. And basically he was going off about foundational Black Americans. Now, if you didn't know, Myron has a Sudanese background. I'm not sure which parent it is, but I think he's part Sudanese, part Arab, if I'm not mistaken. He's not FBA. Let's just put it that way. He would be labeled as an immigrant. And also, too, to add on, it's been reported, and I think he's actually admitted it, that he used to be a federal agent. I said red flag should have been thrown all the way up just on him on that admittance alone. And that was from his own mouth, allegedly. But I'm going to go ahead and play, do the stop and go thing about this clip that he played out. Now, I haven't listened to it. All I did was I read the caption of it so I can get an idea of what I was in for. And I know it's going to be filled with a bunch of BS. So let's get into it. Oh, and by the way, the clip is 1 minute and 33 seconds long.
Do is cry, bro. That's all they do on fucking Twitter. Well, I'm really Black because my parents were here in 1945 and they know Martin Luther King. Shut the fuck up. That's why foreigners come to this country and laugh at you niggas, bro.
Okay, so now he's already started it off. He's imitating, I guess, someone supposed to be, in his opinion, whining on Twitter. And I know he's talking about Black Americans right out the gate. And he's saying how foreigners come over and laugh at us and everything like that. Honestly, we kind of laugh at y'all. The reason why I say that is because y'all know what the hell is going on over here, and you still choose to come over here and think that you're going to completely blend in with society, the society you want to blend in with. Not really. Do I have to keep pulling out Patrick Lyoya? He will be considered an immigrant from the Congolese. And look at what happened to him. See, the thing is, a lot of immigrants of the diaspora have this elitist thinking of themselves that they are better than Black Americans who have been here. The disrespect is real, and they think they can't be touched. A lot of them think that they are untouchable. That is far from the truth. You can be touched. Some of you have been. But you still go around tap dancing, shucking and jiving for Zaddy and Massa and Miss Ann. Let's continue.
Real talk. Chinese people come to this fucking country. You know what they do? They open up a fucking Chinese food spot in the hood. The Indian people, they go open up a convenience store in the hood. The Arabs, they come into the United States, they go put a fucking liquor store in the hood, and them niggas can't even drink. They laughing at you, stupid shops. Because you guys come into the store, oh, hey son, let me get a pack of Hennessy. yo, I only got 20 on me right now, bro. I know it's 50, but yo, do it. Hook up, brother. No, come back again with the money. They laugh at you niggas because you guys were born here with the opportunity, and they're making a killing off you stupid fucks because you guys speak English, born here, raised here, U.S. citizenship, and you're still a fucking loser.
So he now went into the whole diatribe of immigrants from other places like Asian, Arab, or whatever the case may be, coming over here, going to the hood and setting up shop, and they're benefiting off of our dollar. Has he thought to himself why they can't set up shop in, say, the more nicer suburban white areas? Has he ever questioned why that is? Because they don't want them over there because they see them as dirty. So they say, oh, have them set up shop over there, because they don't want them over there. I mean, think about it. If you go to like a lot of like upscale suburban areas, how many Chinese carryouts have you seen over there? How many Arab spots have you seen over there? It's a reason they put them in black areas. And it's also because they don't want black people to thrive in their areas. I remember there was a story that I came across a couple years ago where this black woman tried to set up shop, a beauty supply store in her area, but they would not allow her to set up shop in that area because they said it was in a square mile radius or something like that within an Asian owned beauty supply store. So because of that, they would not let her set up shop there because they feel it would be competition. They probably would lose business. Not her, but them. So what did she do? She packed up her stuff and she went over to Japan and set up shop there. And she made a killing, and I think she's still there now. So she said, you bet, if you're going to set up shop where I live, I'm going to go to where you're from, and I'm going to set up shop there, and I'm going to make money off of you. And to be quite honest, I don't know how many beauty supply stores there are over there in Japan. Probably not much, because they don't have a black, let's say a mainly black female base over there. So they probably wouldn't have that many to cater to, except to those over there who would buy their products for their hair. Because of course, you know, their hair texture is almost like that of white PC females. Let's just be completely honest with ourselves here. But yeah, this guy's going on a whole, like I said, a whole menstrual rant right now. Like peep the energy. Like he's going off right now. It's kind of laughable when you think about it. Because notice in my demeanor, I'm being very calm right now. I'm not even snapping. Because it's like, we've heard these talking points before. Oh, they're coming over here. They're setting up shop in your hood and in the hood. And they're just laughing at you and they're laughing. No, we're laughing at you. We are laughing at you, Myron Gaines. We have been laughing at you. You have been a laughing stock. This guy is literally being one of the biggest tap dancers on YouTube. I guess he's trying to take the crown from Brandon Fakem. I don't know. But let's keep going. We 51 seconds in.
Get to a foreign nigga store, buying the fucking alcohol, crying and complaining about why you're not where you want to be, but you're drunk all the time off of fucking Hennessy. That's the truth in the black community. That's the fucking truth. You choose to be a fucking loser. Okay? And I don't want to hear nothing. Because if I get pulled over by the police versus you get pulled over by the police, the only difference is that I'm not going to be a fucking retard.
Okay, so now he went into the thing of black people being pulled over by the police. He says, if I get pulled over the police and you get pulled over by the police, the only difference between you and me is I'm not going to be an effing retard. So he's basically saying that black people are retarded whenever we get pulled over by the police, which is why we end up shot or dead. Not every black person is being quote unquote combative or non-compliant, but that just shows you his level of thinking. This guy is not paying attention at all. And I bet you he tap dances whenever if he does get pulled over by the police. I bet you he does. See, he has in his mindset, like a lot of these other immigrants out here, that black people are shiftless, lazy, we're combative, we're violent, we're this, we're that. He literally has drank what they call the Kool-Aid. He's drank the Dub S Kool-Aid, which is unflavored and bland, and has literally got himself brainwashed into the thinking of every type of negative stereotype that he can concoct about black people. And again, that goes back to that elitist level of thinking, because this guy probably does not even see himself as black. Like I said, he has a Sudanese and Arab background. He does not know the FBA experience at all. He's here. And it's crazy. He's here and he's not there. He's talking all that crap about us while he's merely a visitor. He's a visitor. It was a video that that Kid Gravity did, and shout out to him, when he was talking about breaking down reparations and why they would never give it to us. If we was to get reparations and everything that Kid Gravity said that we would not get, we would get, one of the first things we would do is kick motherfuckers like him up out of here. Gotta go. Has to go. This is a lot of dark energy coming from this one individual right here. Now I'm looking at the video as I'm playing the clip. His partner in crime is there, but he's not really saying anything. You probably can kind of hear him co-signing in the background, but he's not really saying anything. He's the one doing all the boasting and all the yelling and all the extracurricular stuff. Like it's that time of the month for him. And it probably is. Who knows? But let me go ahead and continue to play this out because we're almost done.
I'm gonna tell him, how you doing, officer? I'm gonna keep my fucking hands on the steering wheel. I'm not gonna call him a fucking dirty pig and say other stupid shit. I'm gonna walk off with no ticket. Your dumb ass is gonna get in trouble because you want to sit there arguing with the police and say, defund the police, fuck the police, fuck the police. I'm
trying to think, when has he seen that? Because a lot of the times when black people are pulled over by the police and they're recording their incidents, a lot of them do have their hands on the steering wheel. A lot of them are calm in their tone. A lot of them aren't doing all the extracurricular stuff that he's talking about, like F the police and F you, you pig, and all. I'm wondering, what hood movies has he been watching? That's what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to go. No, this guy literally is pulling, like I said, every stereotype he could think of when it comes to black people in America, black Americans in particular, FBA, however you want to call it, and projecting. He better hope that that one day, if he ever gets pulled over or accosted or anything like that by the police, that it doesn't go down the way that he is projecting on us. Because if we get wind of it, and 9 times out of 10 we will, that's going to be a very glorious Triple P video. I actually smiled when I said that because I'm anticipating it. I'm almost wishing it happens. That would be the ultimate karma for this guy, is to get back what he put out. Almost like a boomerang effect. And it would be well deserved. We got less than 10 seconds left.
Yeah. You create your reality based off of how you fucking behave, based off of how you act.
And that was the end of it. It makes me wonder who called in to make him triggered like that. Because apparently someone said something to him that made him pop off like that. He couldn't even talk like in a calm tone when he was talking. Now it's crazy. He comes at black people's neck the way that he did, but he was not in the room with not one FBA person. He was in there sitting across from his partner in crime, who is also an immigrant himself. Not from the same nations or backgrounds, but he is an immigrant himself. So of course he's going to co-sign whatever he says because he agrees with it. But he would not dare say that to our faces. He had to say that from behind a screen, behind a microphone, behind a table or a desk. But somebody called in that made him go off like that. And like I said, he did not speak in a calm tone. He spoke in a very aggressive tone. It was to the point where I thought I was listening to the second coming of Stephen A. Smith. Because you know how whenever he gets into his mood swings or whatever, and he starts yelling, and he usually does it when it comes to black people, black Americans, because you know Stephen A. Smith has some immigrant backgrounds himself. Again, are y'all seeing where I'm going with this? And now that I think about it, him and Stephen A. Smith could look like they could be related. In the face and in the mindset. This is why Tariq B, he had, with the whole FBA thing, and to establish black Americans versus non-FBA, this response that you heard right here is exactly why that has been established. Because when you keep lumping us all in, then that means we have to share a space with people like that. I don't want to be in a space with a person like this. This is a person who drains your energy, your time, and your patience, and quite frankly, your sanity. Like, this guy got himself worked up. I'm not worked up over anything that he said, because what he said is a bunch of BS. It makes no sense, and it's very not surprising that it came from someone such as himself. But all I'm saying is this. One day he's going to get his wake-up call, hopefully someday soon in the future, and not into the distant future, but real soon. Would be nice if it came today, but who knows? And it's crazy he has all this smoke for us, but when Preach from Abba and Preach was willing to check him and his partner in crime a few months ago, he scattered like a roach when the lights come on. And Preach and Abba are in Canada, and they came down from Canada to the States with their passport in hand, or maybe it was just Preach, I can't remember, to Florida and Miami, where they are at, to meet them on their turf, and didn't do a damn thing. And I think it was another black man down in Florida who confronted him and his partner in crime while they were doing a show. I think this is before the whole Abba and Preach thing. And again, nothing happened on their side. And I think that guy, I don't think he was FBA either. I forgot his name, but I know he was from New York, but he lives in Miami. But like I said, I think he's non-FBA as well. So it seems to me like he just has a gripe with FBA, but he'll talk ish about anyone he think he can talk about. But when they bring the fight to him, then he gets more tight-lipped than a person going to a Botox convention. That's all I'm saying. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm referencing, because y'all have heard and seen this. Like I said, this guy is he's horrible. He is horrible. Maybe he needs to go lay on someone's couch and air out his grievances and problems, because I'm telling him right now, he would not check anybody in person, or all the stuff that he said in that video that y'all heard in that audio. He would not say it in person. And before I end this video, to the Sambos and Sambets that were leaving comments saying, well, he didn't lie though, because I saw some of those. He didn't lie. He wasn't lying. Well, how about this? How about you go lie in front of a set of train tracks? That's what I want you to go lie in or down on. Now, before I end this video off, I just wanted to go back and address something when he was talking about like the Hennessy and the ratchet behavior and everything like that. If you look at his show and the type of people he has on there, you can tell that he brings in a certain type of element. The same type of people that he talks about us, with and everything like that. There's the same type of people that he brings into his space, and it has the nerve to talk about it. I bet you if you went and looked in his liquor cabinet, it's probably a bunch of Hennessy bottles in there, and he's talking about Hennessy. Notice how many times he said Hennessy. It's probably one of his preferred drinks of choice. Who knows? I'm not sure. I really don't care. But what I find also to be interesting is that he threw these blatant stereotypes onto black people as if that's the only representation of us that is out there, and that is far from the case. Now, if you look at the type of people he had on his show and the type of people he's interviewed, a lot of them I wouldn't deem as quote unquote positive in my eyes. But then again, I don't watch a show like that, but I've seen clips, and from what I've seen, I wouldn't deem them as positive. However, I have a way smaller platform than he does, and I've interviewed two positive people on my platform. One of them is a very successful individual in tech and an author. The other one is currently, well, by the time this video goes up, the election will have already happened, but the other one was running for a political position down in South Carolina, Marcel Dixon. So I have two on him, and my platform is nowhere near the size of his. And he makes it seem like outside of that, we are just some degenerates. But like I said, a lot of immigrants have this bourgeoisie elitist thing to them where they come over and think that they are better. He is the perfect example of that. Trust me, he is no better than us. Trust me. Also keep in mind that allegedly this is the same guy that was paying women for favors. And before I end off this video, I have to give a shout out to Great Black Shark because I came across a clip on his Instagram page involving him and a podcast that he did with two PC individuals, a man and a woman from across the pond. Now, I want you to listen to the exchange that he had with them and pretty much how they put him in his place for some crap that he said. And I want you to listen to the tone he has with them versus the irrational, outbursting tone that he has with us.
Men and women are not the same. Women like attention, men want sex. So my thing is, a man is capable of having sex with other women while still loving his girl the same.
You're actually saying that in a relationship, it's okay for men to go and explore other options, but we have to be happy with you and not explore options.
Absolutely. Closed on your end, open on my end, and I think there should be honest between the two.
Why? Why would anyone agree to that?
You can't just go throwing that thing around. I spoke to Dan Balserian. Yeah, I'm sick of you asking to finish your long, boring answers that are the same answer every time we ask you a question. Even Dan Balserian last week told me to my face, "So fucking what, clown? Here you are on the show. I can turn you off as well. Just turn these clowns off. See you fellas, grow up, ring us back when you're 30 and you've got half a brain. You're not running around being led by your own dicks. Bye-bye. See you later. Turn them off."
Okay, so you just heard it right there. So I'm not sure exactly what podcast this was that he was on or he was invited to be on, but he said something that pretty much triggered them to the point where it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Now, keep in mind, this is a man and a woman that's doing this. It's not like this is just a woman that he's talking to. And that PC man got on code and backed her up with the complaint that she had with what he said, which we all know that they are very good at doing. And I would say that what he said was some bullshit. Like, I don't know what the hell angle he's trying to go at. But the thing is, a person like him, you can tell he tries to seek approval from PC people, and he thought saying what he said, especially in the presence of that PC man, was going to go well or bode well with him, and he was going to agree with him. He must not know what being on code is. I can tell that he doesn't, because he's a very off-code individual. Him and his partner in crime over there at that so-called podcast that they got run down there in Florida. That was them being on code against him. But what I want you, what you notice is that the tone was completely different. How you heard earlier in the video how loud he was when he was coming at black people, and notice he did not do that in the presence of FBA. It was no FBA present when he was going on that, doing that outburst and saying all of that crap about us being lame and losers and stuff. But he was real calm when he was talking to these two PC individuals who invited him to be on their podcast. And then when he felt the heat, he finishes off and saying, "Well, you guys invited me to be up on here." He said, "Yeah, we did, and we can kick you off too." Like he got arrogant. He thought because he got invited to their podcast that he could just say whatever he wanted. That's not how it works. You can do whatever you want on your podcast, and because that's yours. But just because you got the invite to be on someone else's doesn't mean you can just go off the rails and say whatever the hell you want and not get checked on it, which is exactly what they did. And the funniest part to me, besides the fact that them checking him, is one, because they had an accent, but two, when the guy said, "Y'all walking around here being led by your own dicks." That one right there was the blow to his ego. Because you can tell he is one of those people that is led by what we call the little head. We got the big head and the little head. The big head is the one that sits on your shoulders, and the little head is the one that swings between your legs. Well, for those of us who are men. And basically he was saying that's what you're led by. In other words, he's basically saying that you're basically team small brain. And he says, come back and talk to us when you're about 30 and you have more than half of a brain. He literally checked him right then and there. All he could do was sit there and smile And it was one of them smiles that he had to kind of force himself to do to not appear to be upset with what was just being said to him. So there you have it right there. He got checked by white mommy and white daddy at the same damn time and then got kicked off right after they checked him. But yeah, that's my take on it.